We also decided to go to Oceanside to see what's happening in San Diego beaches. So Jayme, can you tell us what's happening with the coastal erosion? We are in Oceanside and you have been watching, observing this.
In a lot of Southern California, there's been a lot of development. It's a very desirable place to live. And so we have a lot of things that we do to change the coastal area to accommodate us moving in. So that means, we pave over places that should have been beach sand, like the Strand, like we're walking on now. This would have been a beach, but it's paved over to accommodate getting to people's homes, getting to parks, having an access way. So everywhere in Orange County, everywhere in LA County on the coast, similar conditions of we've kind of encroached into these spaces that would have naturally been beaches, which is a natural buffer between the ocean and the built environment. But as we build further and further on the coast, we get closer to the ocean and the ocean gets closer to us. So other places that have done similar things in their rivers, like flood control, LA River is now trying to mitigate that and restore some of the LA River because they've paved it, for many, many decades. It's been paved for flood control purposes, but now they're kind of rethinking how they're managing their systems a little bit better. And actually every jurisdiction is trying to kind of rethink that. The state helps with that a little bit as well. But definitely other places are experiencing similar loss of sediment sand source for their beaches.
Now, how serious is this? Like if you were to tell Californians about this, how serious is this issue?
In Southern California, throughout LA, Orange County, and San Diego County, I have continuously heard that there is a sediment supply issue, that we have built so much in this coastal zone that we've really cut off those natural sediment supplies. And therefore, we are all trying to find different sources of sediment. Sediment on a beach, it's a kind of a non-structural way of preventing the ocean from overtaking your infrastructure. And it's also a huge part of our beach economy. And so, it's a really desirable thing to have beaches, really desirable. If anyone who's ever walked down a cobble berm to get to the ocean, they'll say that as well, that it's not very much fun to put your beach towel on cobble and walk into the ocean that way. So there's many reasons why we're trying to find these sources of sediment and bring them back to the beach. So there's a number of places you can get sand so that you can replenish your beaches with. So this is a natural cobble berm. I, for one, love cobble, and I am grateful for this cobble berm because what this cobble berm does is it prevents the ocean from encroaching onto the Strand and onto these homes and onto this public park. So the cobble berm is natural. The cobble has been here for millions of years, but it's just becoming more and more uncovered as the sand slowly disappears. It's the heavier sand particle, and so it sticks around longer than the finer beach sand.
If you guys don't do anything about replenishing this sand,
right,
it will all look like this.
All of it. And in the winter, if you came back here, you would see an even bigger cobble berm here that goes all the way to the ocean, to where the ocean hits it. The dangerous part about having cobble is how close the homes are and how close all of this access is to get to the coast, because when we do have high tides, high wave conditions, this cobble can get picked up and flung onto the road. And it is something that it does become dangerous. Yeah, it really does become dangerous. Sometimes we'll actually close the Strand to make sure that people are staying safe and that cars aren't getting hit by cobble as the waves kind of come up. Like I said, right now you're kind of seeing abnormally wide beaches here in Oceanside. And that's from that calm summer and also from the nourishment efforts that we've done. But when it's winter and the water's way up here,
already.
Yeah, there hasn't been a beach here for many, many years. And that's because of this constant need to actually bring sand from somewhere else and put it here. We have to do that. And without doing that, these are the conditions that we're going to be in. It's really important to recognize how much we have encroached on the beaches and on the coastal zone and on these natural processes. And it's important to recognize it because there are measures that coastal managers and cities need to take to bring beaches back. And that's a trade-off, because sometimes people don't understand that these natural conditions, natural processes have been so interrupted that that it's not going to come back without a lot of help and a lot of give and take. Oftentimes people are like, why do we have to have dredging offshore and bring sand back? And I explain this whole process, but the problem is that it does, all these management efforts do take up space on the coast. They do cause impacts to the coast somewhat, meaning that they're going to interrupt events. It's going to interrupt traffic, use of the space, surfing, surf events, all those things. It's a give and take, but the trade-off is we could have a beach. We can get beaches back. We can go offshore and find sand. We can go onshore and find sand and bring it to the beach. We can do these management tactics, but we have to have the community be okay with these trade-offs and let us do some of that coastal management work.
Is there a solution to this?
There are many solutions. There's a short-term, midterm, long-term solution. Short-term, we want to try and find as much sand as we can in different places and be efficient with that as possible. So get sand offshore, get sand from onshore, bring that sand to the beach, and that's a short-term fix. Midterm fixes are more like, how can we do these types of programmatic beach nourishment projects over and over every 5 years? Get a cycle going where we're doing it every 5 years. In fact, in Oceanside, we're doing something called Re-Beach Oceanside, and it's building an artificial reef to try and retain some of that sand, so lessen the amount of erosion that happens. When we put the sand on the beach, then we can keep it around a little bit longer with some of these more innovative tactics like an artificial reef. But like long-term solutions are, think about how we can free up some of this, these natural sediment sources. Can we eliminate some of this flood control, and can we bring back some of our river systems, make them more natural so that there's a natural erosion process happening and bringing that sand naturally back to our beaches. And those are the things, those are kind of real long-term things, but they are being considered. We are doing dam removal in rivers. Up in Ventura, they're doing that right now. And we are considering different types of habitat restoration that allows for kind of some of those, bring back some of those natural processes, long-term fixes to coastal erosion issues. We know we need to do it because we absolutely cannot do nothing. That's the condition we've been in now, is doing nothing, and it's gotten us to cobble. So we do need to do something, but how would you like it done? And we're asking both the community and city council to make these tough decisions.